Be able to see me. I'm like, who's got the flashers? Should be able to see me in there. So I'm the red, orange, and yellow guy.
Oh, cool.
So we're gonna be looking for those cold spots, like we already mentioned. So those are gonna be blue and black. So that's obviously anything that's gonna be glass is gonna be the coldest thing inside the frame right now. We might actually have some windows or some other things in there. But what we're looking for out of those blue and black is for them to either move or to start taking shape on their own. When I say take shape, I know, sorry, blinking lights. I got you guys with lights on both ends. So when I say take shape, I'm looking for a head, shoulders, moving arms, and legs. So that's kind of what I look for when I go through this video. So we've caught those things in the past, which is that's exactly why I look for those things.
Oh, cool.
I do have it set up to where there's a blue dot bouncing around the screen as well. The blue dot shows you the coldest spot in the frame at that particular moment. And by the way, my name is Nick. I don't know if she told you that or not. So it's like we did introductions already, but I was kind of like, I wonder if she actually told him what my name was. I'm looking for 15 plus degree temperature drops. So we're about 65 degrees out here ambient tonight. So I'm going to be looking for anything below 50 out of that blue dot. Again, 15 plus degrees usually kind of indicates that we might have something going on. Again, not everything's going to be a ghost with me. Just you guys are going to see that like right away. I'm not a TV show host. You guys said you don't really watch the TV shows anyway. Those guys exaggerate everything. So that's the reason why I like to point out like I'm not a TV show host. So Timon, Eliza and Charles Pinckney. So their mansion actually stood in the front of this space. Eliza's garden was lined up with Five Church Restaurant over there, and then the servant and slave quarters were in the back of the space. So that's the layout of the land. So who the hell were these people? Eliza and Charles had a son named Charles. They had a nephew named Charles. That's 3 different Chucks. It's exactly why we look for secondary clues as well. I need to know which Charles we're actually talking to. But yeah, let's keep it running while we're in here. We're just going to basically take 1 or 2 laps around here while Kari kind of listens in, and she's going to basically shout out whatever she hears. So your left hand is covering part of the camera. There you go.
Sorry, we're both lefties.
Oh. YouTube doesn't like the flippies. It has to be a certain orientation for all the videos to kind of coincide together. So we put 17, 4.
Not a show. Solo. Ooh, I said it again. The Alliance Day.
Most people struggle with that thing, Timon, believe it or not. Like, I don't get this many things, like, right away.
Well,
from
listening
somebody.
to words?
Yeah.
Oh, I do it for a living.
So what do you do?
Quality assurance. So I listen to phone calls all day.
Yeah. I gave that to the perfect person, apparently.
So just keep it recorded?
Yep, just keep it running for the duration that we'll be here. Nice slow motions out of there.
On the outside. Gives us need of a second chance.
Interesting.
Nowadays.
Let's take a quick little lap, kind of see what we get out of this.
I got the chills. Hairs in your head. I'm peaceful. Super Bowl. It doesn't matter if you've been naughty or nice. I believe. Oh, Sarah Bareilles. Will help you process. Ooh. I don't know. like a real deep, like not staticky noise.
Yeah. So you see how like some of your phrasing is like really vague? Like
Yeah.
nothing is like almost like pinpointing it, nor is it conversational. So I mean, I just made a blanket statement as we were kind of walking, like, Eliza, you know which questions we're going to be asking, so by all means give us those type of answers. And you keep giving me like vague statement. I mean, I have it on like the slowest setting possible. It's like I almost want to speed it up for you.
I wouldn't go too fast.
Well, again, I think one more level up probably wouldn't hurt somebody like you that listens to things like this. I don't want to say like this all day long, but let's move it up one notch just to kind of, because I think you're going to be... Try that.
Something about wants me.
There we go. See how she questioned it?
I know
it's
that.
Good. It's good. Okay, Eliza. You're moving at a different rate tonight,
And
so you're
don't.
going to have to grab things a little bit quicker. Just had 8.6.
Unjack someone. 20. W. Come through.
So, Timon, what do you do?
I'm an estimator
Okay.
for a roofing company.
The reason why. Something about rocks? Whoa, whoa, whoa. College football? Don't. Deep dive? By your head. Santa Claus.
Christmas time. I love
I
it.
feel like he's gonna keep showing up.
Yeah, it is. All right, so kind of give yourself a little bit of a break. So again, I try not to like throw you guys a full running shot of the alley going down here while we're here. So what'll happen is kind of give you the history of the space and also tell you why it goes silent is very funny down here. This is actually one of the quieter places of Charleston. And of course it has a ghost story to it, but this is the space I'm taking out this year. Every year I change this up for my repeaters, so I always take out one space and add a new one. This one's coming out because every ghost store comes down here. So if you've been on a ghost store in Charleston, you've more than likely been here, but you guys have never been here, so here's how this goes. We're all telling the same story, I'm just giving you different details because you're ghost hunting versus listening to campfire and marshmallow kind of ghost stories. So here's how it goes. A doctor moves down here from Rhode Island. His name is Dr. Joseph Brown Ladd. If the song Brown Eyed Girl comes on during the time frame that we're here, it's not coincidence, it's just part of his name. We get it all the time. Anyway, Dr. Ladd moves down here because he's supposed to get married to his fiancée, Amanda. Amanda just inherited a bunch of money from her dead parents. She has this attorney that's helping her out with all of this cash flow. And the attorney thinks that Dr. Ladd is just after Amanda's money. So he tells Amanda to get rid of the doctor. Dr. Ladd comes down here to Charleston to prove that he's not just after her money and basically start his own medical practice down here. The coachman that brought him in, though, set him up to be robbed and killed. It wasn't a very good start to his stay in Charleston. So it's kind of like having a really bad Uber driver. So somebody was walking by and seeing what was about to happen because he knew the coachman, and that gentleman's name was Ralph Isaacs, the guy walking by. I stopped on Ralph because he has the same initials as where the doctor came from. Rhode Island, Ralph Isaacs. I was getting the letters RI all the time on your spirit box that you're using, so I bought another device. It acts just like a Ouija board, but it uses EMF, just like the thing in my pocket. So So anytime an EMF raises, it stops the cursor on a letter and drops it to a different row so we can see if anything spells out for us. That's basically trying to teach the ghost how to spell shit. So basically how that works. We have gotten the letters R-I whenever I brought up Ralph's name. But anyway, man, this fog is like perfect for a ghost hunt. So you guys are like, you need to take pictures. By all means, I'm not going to be, hurt in any way. By all means, take those pictures. But anyway, Ralph tells the doctor, dude, I know this guy. He's going to try to kill you. Come with me. I got friends at 59 Church Street. You can stay with them, and you'll be safe and good to go. Doctor took him up on the offer. The two gents became friends. And the longer the doctor stays here, the more money he's making. He's proving his point that he's not after Amanda's money. She gets wind of this from Rhode Island. She's moving down so they can be married. Dr. Ladd became known as the whistling doctor. So every ghost hunter down here will tell you to listen for the whistles. And again, that's why I say the ghost silent thing was kind of a funny thing. But this place used to be called Dueler's Alley. So that's part of the reason why we're here. Yeah, we're going to get into this further once this group kind of moves all the way down. If he's going to do that, I don't know how far down he's going to go.
Last one through has to pay $5.
Oh, yeah, that's the first
This time, wasn't it?
Preach, that amen.
There's a little exit right there in that wall, so sometimes they go from here to, there's another alley down there. But anyway, so Dr. Ladd and Ralph go see plays together, but they can't sit next to each other because the doctor makes more money. That's the hierarchy of Charleston. He gets better seats. So they go see Richard III one night, and they're arguing over the actress. Dr. Ladd thought she was great. Ralph didn't. The argument turns into Ralph insulting the doctor's fiance back home in Rhode Island that's on her way down so they can get married. Now, so, sorry, I was like, why did he shut the gate? Nobody ever shuts the gate. But the argument turns into they go their separate ways, basically. Ralph has friends around town. He goes to his friends at the newspaper, places an ad in the paper telling the whole city of Charleston what he thinks of the doctor. Kind of a, you're a disgrace to society kind of mentality. Doctors saw this ad, but rebutted with, let's go to Dueler's Alley. We're going to settle this. So basically somebody's going to die because they started arguing over an actress. Pretty damn stupid, in my opinion. But anyway, they came down here and they took their 10 paces away from each other, and they turned. The doctor pointed his gun in the air and then shot. He did not want to kill his friend. He just wanted to have the courage and bravery to show up to the fight. But Ralph has his one bullet, and he puts it in the kneecap on the doctor. Yeah, yikes, right? Doctor fell to the ground. He didn't die, but again, his friends picked him up, took him home to 59 Church Street, where he dies 10 days later, after refusing medical treatment on November 2nd of 1786. I'm going to point out two things. First off, it's 1786. Gunshot wounds are a lot different back then than what we know of gunshot wounds now. He's also a doctor, which means he probably thought he just had lead poisoning and tried to bleed it out himself, but he failed because he died. Every ghost tour that comes down here, which, like I said, it's everyone in Charleston, will tell you to listen for the whistles. Luckily, I have a voice recorder running, and you sporadically have been running a video camera. So hopefully if we're going to capture a whistle, it'll show up on either one of our pieces of audio. I won't say that we haven't gotten whistling parts of songs and then the word doctor on a commercial immediately after.
I hope not.
Doctor,
Whistling at night is creepy.
But we get it all the time. So I want to tell you, like in the 4 years I've been coming to this location, dozens. I can't even count how many times it's actually happened.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's craziness. There's a couple of other pieces that I've caught down here with different devices that I've tested over the years. We have gotten direct whistles. The other thing I'll tell you is if you're going to try this on your own and use your own voice recorders on your phone, because I can't take you all the way through here. I'll explain that why in just a moment. It just goes fast through. I love that bag.
Thanks.
So if you use your voice recorders on your phone and walk all the way through, just remember that every vehicle knows the damn story. So anybody that walks up and down Cumberland Street or Queen Street throws a whistle down here. I used to do it every single morning. My office is up like one extra block, but my old garage used to be down this way. So about 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, I'm walking past this alley every single morning. And I'd always just throw a whistle down here ever since I got thrown out of here. Let's talk about that. That's the fun part of the story.
You got thrown out of here?
I did get thrown out of here. That's the good part. So, remember I told you, well, first off, the alley didn't go all the way through this way. There used to be a wall up there, about halfway between us and Cumberland Street, which is why I usually stop in this general area, to kind of give you the gist of how far away it was. The reason why is because this used to be called Cow Alley. So this is where they kept the livestock. So cows and chickens are down here. What does that mean for you guys? The bricks down on the other side are older than the ones we're standing on. Those bricks are sun-dried bricks from slave children. There's a full handprint and a brick down there from a slave child, along with some fingerprint swipes and others. I used to take my group down there as a history lesson. Nothing paranormal about it. The reason why is because that's the last place you're going to find that kid is staring at that brick in the afterlife. I treat it the same way I do a grave. I know nothing's going to happen. I just like to show how far we've come from slavery. However, November 26th of 2020, my entire group of 10 is literally huddled around that brick waiting for something to happen. I'm trying to shoo them along. Nothing's going to happen. I'm also trying to be respectful to the beautiful mansion at the end of the alley. We're standing outside his dining room window. He came out screaming. I was just trying to be respectful. I didn't realize I was out of bounds for tours that time of night. Yeah. So my daughter thought it was great because she was on the tour that night. She was probably 14, 15 years old. She's laughing hysterically, and her dad's getting screamed at. We moved on. The next day was Thanksgiving. I used to work in retail management for Walmart for over 10 years, upper management. I don't do Thanksgiving anymore, thanks to you guys wanting to fight over towels. So the next day was the 28th. The date's irrelevant. I'm going to get to that. But I called my partner that I had at the time, and I told him what happened. He's the guy who brought me into tourism. I won't work with him anymore, but anyway, he laughed at me just like my daughter did. And he's like, dude, you're only allowed to go down halfway. Otherwise, it's residential. Reroute your group for tonight. I'm like, well, shit. So I told my group, I don't believe in the next story because I'm a vampire guy, not a pirate person. We're obviously going to be discussing pirates next. So somebody before we left heard the name Anne on a spirit box. I didn't tell them which pirate we were going to be investigating. The famous female pirate, Anne Bonny.
It sounded like a rat.
I heard like a whistling sound. Like almost like a car whistle.
Oh, I thought it was squeaky like a rat.
No.
And I could have sworn I saw a rat earlier when we were over by the red
You
barn.
may have. We get them down.
You guys have rats?
Yeah. But anyway, so I was kind of like, maybe we will get something about this pirate deal. So we go up and around the corner, and I told them what little bit I did know about pirates in Charleston, which wasn't much at the time, but somebody else with a spirit box heard the number 300. I don't know what that means. I write it down. I do the research. We were there November 28th, 2020. And Bonnie's trial for piracy, November 28th, 1720. We were there on the exact 300th anniversary of her pirate life. No thanks, I'm good. So it's kind of a, are you kidding me right now? I was actually quite pissed off. The reason why is because pirate stories come from pirate lore. I've avoided doing pirate ghost anything because of that. Pirate stories were written 100 years after the alleged golden age of piracy, so it's a lot of reading about pirates and more reading about pirates. Half my library at home now is about pirates. And again, just because I wanted to make sure everything we're going to be discussing at the next location is a legitimate thing for our 15 minutes of fame that I do on a nightly basis. So let me check. I don't always check the EMF in here because we do have 2 lampposts that it's hard to get over a 7 from those, so I don't always check that from here, but I'm going to check the word list real quick, kind of see where we're at. Yeah, I got a whole lot of nothing and going on in here tonight.
The Lowry?
Did you say, you may have. I'll have to go back and listen to the audio, but I want to say you said something about the word second when we were at the Pinckney Mansion site.
Maybe.
Because I have the word wife on here, so again, she was the second wife. So kind of a vague reference, but I just seen the word wife on there. I'm like, did she say the word second? I don't remember writing that one down. But any other major questions on dueling? Hopefully what we're going to get over there is going to be things relative to Anne Bonny after I give you that history, because we're going to be able to spread out, kind of like what we did at the Pinckney Mansion site, and I'll let you guys kind of like wander the space on your own. I won't hover. And then hopefully you're going to get things from here as well.
Okay.
So now that I know that you can listen to that thing on a perfect basis and we have the right speed for you, so that way I don't have to hover. Normally I hover a little bit at the first location to make sure everybody gets the gist of how to listen to it. So no other questions about dueling. Let's get the hell out of here. Hopefully we get whistles later on, but that whistle, I'm telling you, it'll be on the regular right in front of it. So I'm going to just take a few readings around here. We'll probably spend, I don't know, 5 to 10 minutes in this location while you listen. girls on a Friday night. I get that often too. We do got somebody coming by, so just I'll watch it with your phone. Well, what have you gotten? Alright, so let's try this thing first. Let's get to know something exciting first. So basically how this thing actually works is it's going to...
Alright, that just said I'm Jack again.
So have you guys ever seen like AI images ever being generated?
Yeah, we got an Oculus.
What's that?
So yeah, we got an Oculus for my kids.
Okay, so but have you ever seen AI? Like how an image is generated?
Like what do you mean?
Because I use it every day. So I use it for social media posts, and I tell Bing uses ChatGPT, so I just tell it exactly what I want, and it'll create that kind of image. That's okay. No, let's get some footage while you're doing that.
Standing room. You're listening.
Henry, we're not going through all the normal mess that I go through with you. We're only using the green box tonight.
Tony Evans. Country.com. Monroe. Discover. People.
Henry, use the green box. We're looking for images tonight only. If we get other clues, shoot them in the comments.
Wolf.
Radio station. No other images, dude? Yep. Just keeping cigar? Yep. Alright, let's give Carrie a whirl on that one.
Look like him too.
There you go.
Now what's the picture?
Okay. Man, I've had some nights where we've gotten 10 to 12 in a 10-minute period. I always use this bench.
Oh, it's turning. Everything's turning red. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, that makes sense here too.
Oh, it's really creepy. I see somebody sitting on the bench, just like someone is sitting on the bench, like with his legs spread and his hands in front of him.
Okay.
But they're just like orange, like heat sensor people. And there's like a girl off to this side that's like posing weirdly. She's like,
Okay. Is there a time error that you can make out?
no, not a specific time area. There's like a tree in the center. But there's just a person sitting on the bench that makes me uneasy. It's like he doesn't have a face.
Okay.
And she was just like by the tree posing.
I don't know. You said red. I was all excited.
Yeah, like he was like all red and orange, like this is the silhouette of a person, like you see on your the camera he's been using all night.
Yeah.
And they were just like sitting like this. Yeah.
Gotta love Friday nights as well. like in here, there's nobody on. Like nobody. When I'm blindfolding people in the middle of a dark park in the middle of the night, it doesn't look so bad when we're walking along.
You feel like, what's going on over there?
Every once in a while there'll be a straggling tour that's out as late as I am, but I normally don't wrap up a night with a full group until like 11:30, quarter midnight. Like that's normally how long these will go with that many people. Come on, Henry, give us at least one more image and we'll leave you alone.
Yeah, you can show me another image.
Henry? I know there's a lot of people in here right now. You don't normally like that, but we'll take images. We're not looking for words right now. Just the images. I love listening to the other tours that walk by us when we have all the gizmos and gadgets out. I'm like, what the hell are they doing?
Cooler stuff.
I hear it all the time. Then if they see the back of my vest, like my backpack's on all right now, it says paranormal investigator on the back. They're like, they're actually ghost hunting. What the hell did we sign up for? Come on, Henry, one more image. One more image, sir.
The ghost here is named Henry.
Yes. At least the one that I made contact with.
So Henry, you could show me another picture.
Every tour comes through here, but they all talk about somebody different. I don't think anybody's talking about Henry.
Maybe a less creepy picture.
No, we need the creepy stuff, Henry. That's what we need. He's got a creepy story. It's a perfect story to end with. Henry, we'll leave you alone if you give us one more image. My EMF reader is like dead. Like flat zeros.
I just got rolling smoke.
Henry, we're going to go for one more minute. So show us whatever you want us to see and we'll call it a night.
And you said you saw little kids dressed as a ghost?
Yeah, that's weird. I want to see that image. You'll be able to see all the images before we part ways, but it'll also be a new data room. I always take a look at them before, like when you guys are done with that. Henry, one more image, buddy. Yeah, nothing.
Nothing.
I think we'll call it on this one. We're not going to give as much as a lot of ones. Let's take a look at the images you guys did find, and then I'll give you the history of the space, and then I'll start collecting your devices. So you guys can ask me questions, do whatever you want me to do. And we're average night so far. So far, like the whole night. He was right. 2 kids with sheets over their heads and 1 kid in the middle. I have no idea who these children are. So, but that's exactly, that was a great description. Yeah, I told you, these images aren't always super clear. This almost looks like somebody like practicing Hindu, almost like that type of pose, if you're getting my point. Like that's what it looks like. You don't necessarily see them on a bench. I know you described it as a
Yeah, I
bench.
felt like they were sitting like somewhere, like just like on a bench.
That's almost like the damn green fairy in the background.
I don't even see this thing behind her.
Yeah.
This just kept like flickering.
It's weird.
Like she couldn't hold still.
Well, it's generating.
Yeah.
That would probably be why it didn't come through perfectly clear. Oh, I went the wrong way again. And last but not least,
I didn't even see that. Did you see that?
this must have it may have shown up when I was giving him the device, like when I was putting it in. I want to see what this guy, the candle's weird. Like it's almost like a wicker outdoor type candle.
Yeah.
Again, I look at some of the details in these things to see if something like matches up to like what's going on. But it's almost like the same pose of the person that you see sitting on the bench.
Yeah.
So
Maybe to make sure I understood how it was sitting.
I don't know. Super weird.
That is weird.
It is weird. So let me tell you the history of the space and tell you why all of the things that you said earlier were making sense to me at least. So this is the new space that I put in for 2023. And the first time I came in here, I only had 2 people because everybody canceled. It was cold that night. So I told the young lady using the spirit box, just tell me whatever you hear, because I don't know why every tour comes in here. We were just testing it out. She heard the year 1828, the name Henry. I was using the word list just like I am tonight, and I had the name Tim on my word list. He wrote his last words. His last words were beholder of brief mortality. And then he coughed, and it landed on the page in a blood stain, and he died. He had tuberculosis. Now, the weird thing about this, and when you said the word red, that blood stain is significant because it looks like a man writing at his desk. So it's kind of a legendary thing for us here in Charleston. His collection is being held at the Charleston Library Society, and they show this, what we call the blood book, that blood stain, on Halloween only. You have to be a member of the society to be able to go see it, but the internet's beautiful. So I'm at least going to show you what the page looks like. But you did say, my son, together, something along those lines, like there was...